there's different seasons. Things are going to change. Things are going to happen that are unexpected. Maybe
Mhm.
not even with our business, maybe something in our personal life that ultimately has an effect on our business or the amount of time that we're able to dedicate to our business. And so, absolutely, yes.
Welcome to season 6 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat, a conversation providing tips for every business owner and entrepreneur.
Every business ebbs and flows with scaling up or scaling down. Join myself, Selena of Hauoli Socially Inspired, and Anna of NomadAbout with our guest, Jennifer Ballou of Jennifer Ballou Wellness, to talk about resilience through business lifecycle changes. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Kind of a fancy topic today, right?
It is. And you know what? We got to actually spend a lot of time backstage with Jen. Yeah, just kind of discussing the topic, Okay, Anna, what is our call to action question we want to throw up for everybody?
Okay, so if you're familiar with business life cycle stages, what we want to know is what life cycle stage are you experiencing? And if you're not familiar with them, I'm just going to throw them out really fast. Startup, growth, maturity, or renewal decline. So where are you currently? Where are you currently in your business? Are you just getting started? Are you, growing like crazy? Are you like in that nice, steady, rock solid maturity phase? Or are you kind of like, I don't know what to do right now because I'm either going to sell or stop doing what I'm doing or, all of that.
I had asked Jen backstage, I said, we were all talking about, I said, yeah, life cycle. Like, I didn't even think about it. When Anna and I decided on the topic, I was like, what's a life cycle of business? And then I was like, oh my gosh, and what a great topic for us to kind of just discuss, because I think if you know where you are in business, it would be helpful.
Yes,
and if you don't know, right? So I don't know. But all right, I'm going to pop up our wonderful guest's bio, and Anna and I are going to read it today, and then we're going to bring her in. Oh, let me just go like this. Oh, let me go like this. There we go.
Hello, everyone.
All right. This is the lovely Jennifer, right, Anna?
Yes. Selena, would you mind reading that bio?
I sure
pop out for just a second. Thank you.
Yeah, sure can. Okay. Jennifer is the founder and CEO of A Joyful Life with Jennifer, LLC, helping women, veterans, and military spouses navigate life changes while living a whole and joyful life. You know what? It's been a tongue twister of a day for me. And I'm like, I can do this. I can read today. She does this as a speaker, wellness coach, and yoga teacher, both virtually and in person through a variety of offerings. She is also a 21-year retired Army veteran and a military spouse. She is honored to continue serving and helping others through her work. I mean, my gosh, you guys, if I could not just say how amazing this woman is, all the things that she does. Anyway, Jennifer considers herself a lifelong learner and advocate for the wellness of all people, but specifically women, veterans, and military families. You guys, I'm just going to say this. I had a massage today earlier, and I said this here backstage with Jen as well. I think I am a little massage drunk today because I sound like I've had a couple mimosas or something before we went live. That's not it. So
add to that the fact that it's been a day for me already. It's Monday.
Oh, no.
It is a definite Monday. Can I just tell you that I had to pop out because my computer was dying on me. I didn't have it plugged in, and all of a sudden the big screen pops up that says, your computer will shut down in 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm excited for Jennifer to come on because I feel like I need her today. Yeah. I'm excited.
I think everybody needs Jennifer is what I'm going to say, because that's just kind of that's just what it should be. So without further ado, let's bring in Jen.
I'm going to bring her up. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jennifer. Ladies. Welcome to the Hot Mess Express of today.
Thank you so much. I was saying earlier backstage, it's everybody. There's something in the air. I taught a few yoga classes this morning, and every single one of my students was either running in the door at the last minute or just super stressed out from the weekend, all over the place. So We're all here together.
Yes.
We're going to get through it.
If it's a Monday, it's the Mondayest Mondays of Mondays, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jen and I actually have something we want to do first. So you guys, today is Miss Larson's birthday over there. So I'm going to see how this works, but guess what? This is what we got. Happy birthday, Anna.
Happy birthday, Anna.
Thank you. I love it.
Yes. If you are listening to our podcast right now, what I have done today is found some kind of confetti overlay that is spraying all over the place for the birthday girl. So we wanted to make sure we did not go without saying happy birthday to you. So Anna.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I love the confetti. I love the birthday wishes. I'm so grateful. That just boosted my mood. I feel better already, right?
No, I had to make sure, you guys, that when we were in our backstage here, I didn't want to actually label it confetti because I was worried Anna would see like, what's this confetti thing in our overlay stuff. Now I can label it properly. But okay, before we start our show,
we way too much credit for actually looking at what's in our overlay stuff.
Okay, before we get into our questions, we want to do our coffee cup selfie with Jen because it's just part of what we love to do with our guests. So look at what Jen has on her cup. It looks lovely. Mine is
today she
something
chooses
like that.
joy.
Yeah, I'm choosing
I've got
something.
the fine art lady on a horse. There we
go.
go.
1, 2, 3. Okay. All right.
Love it.
Yeah, love it. Cheers. Here's a great show. Okay, guys, let's dig into it, right?
Okay, so like we were saying, today we're going to be talking about the business life cycle stages. Mm-hmm. And the very first one is starting a business. So Jennifer, let's talk about starting a business. The startup phase is all about ideas, making connections, like all that new stuff that goes into just getting going. What would be your top tips for resiliency through that startup phase?
Ah, that's such a great question. So, and I love how you mentioned connections, because one of the things that we know specific to people who are resilient is that they understand that relationships matter. And so if we can remember that and kind of have that at the forefront of our mind as we're meeting different people and making connections, you might get so far on your own without anybody, but just like anything else, we're stronger in numbers and we're going to go further when we have people by our side, especially when times come along that maybe we're struggling or something comes up unexpected. So my advice here would just be simply, and it's not simple, but relationships matter.
Yeah, that's so good. So we all are on LinkedIn, right? Selena and I we're a little bit repetitive in mentioning frequently how much we love LinkedIn. Yeah. And that's a great way to make connections as far as business goes. But what other locations, like where else would you go other than like virtually to make connections like within your community?
Oh, that's a really great question. I mean, and it's a tough time right now, right? Like just with COVID and depending on where you are, that's really challenging. But a great place could be if you practice yoga at your yoga studio. Maybe you're a member of a gym, libraries, coffee shops, like something that's of interest to you that you enjoy spending some free time at. More than likely other people that have common interests are going to be there as well. And then you can create connections with like-minded people.
Yeah. Jen, you just spoke like 3 love languages, like yoga for you, library for Anna, and a coffee shop for me. Like,
and it was not rehearsed.
Literally, if you want to take me to my happy place, it is in any coffee shop. Like literally, my body like just relaxes, and there's other people, and you know what it is? It's that commonality. Like, when motorcycle guys pass other motorcycle guys, they give each other that nod, right? There's that like. So when you're in, like you just said, in a place where it makes sense, you just give that like that nod, like, yeah, your coffee good.
Jeep. I have a Jeep. I'm a Jeep driver, so
yes,
I'm all about it. Yep.
Do you guys really do wave at each other?
Yeah, my kids make fun of me. My kids make such fun of me, but
it's
it's
a
so fun.
thing.
It's
It's
so
a
fun.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh
I just want
gosh.
to know. Let me know what the yoga nod is. Like, here's
Yeah.
the library nod. Like,
Yeah. Oh, there it is. The
there you
namaste.
go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
All right, guys.
And
I
the
don't know.
coffee cup nod has to be like just a cheers.
I mean, it's
you know,
totally
a-
like, hi, hello. It's very scholarly, I think, even though I'm the least scholarly, but I think it's the. So, hey guys, if you're listening, just tell us, where would you go and what would your nod be? Because, I think that was so important what you just said, though, Jen, is like going to a place, finding, like other like-minded people, and that helps with the connection. And I think in any business, especially as an entrepreneur, it's a lonely place because you're by yourself,
lonely.
right?
Yeah.
So
I
find
also
that
really
other
love that
person.
you didn't run directly to a business-oriented function. Like, it wasn't like the Chamber of Commerce or a local networking group. Like, I love that you're talking about, no, go to the place where you're comfortable and chat people up there.
Yeah, and those things are great. I mean, there's definitely value in those things as well, but I don't know. That's just what came to my mind first.
Yeah. No,
I love it.
Okay. We have a comment, Anna. Like, is it somebody saying, "Oh, it's looking great as always." Thanks, John.
Yeah, we're all looking good. There we are.
Okay. All right. Let's shuffle over to the next question. So I love, again, you guys, startup phase is all about ideas and making connections, and and that's where we all start when we're starting our business. So let's continue on the life cycles.
Let's do it.
So when we move out of the startup phase, we're moving into a growth phase. And this is, now you've kind of established your business, what it is maybe, and now you're figuring out like how to make it bigger. So the business growth requires investment, time, money, energy, all of that kind of stuff. So when you see so much potential in what you're creating, and there's so many different directions you could go, where does resiliency come into play with this life cycle stage for your business, like what you're doing for your business?
Yeah, so I have two kind of answers for this. The first one is that, resilience is really about bouncing back when some sort of change or adversity happens. And so I think it's just really important, no matter which phase you're in, really, to recognize that when things are going well, hopefully they'll continue to always go well, but more than likely, we all know at some point something's going to kind of try to bring you off track. And so just kind of being prepared for that. But then my other answer is more wellness focused, it's in line with resilience. When you're in this growth phase, it's so easy to give every ounce of energy you have to your business and not take care of yourself. And if you want to be in this for the long haul, and I think any small business owner especially can relate to this, if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to burn out. And so that might look different for each of us, but like the bare minimum, getting enough sleep at night, eating properly, taking a break from the computer screen throughout the day, getting some movement in, like these are all so important.
I love that, Jen. Right?
It's like she saw my life.
Yes. No, seriously though, because we forget to do this. I mean, one of the things, a topic we've had said frequently on our show is just, there's just not enough hours. I've got so much to do. I have to block out time to even just step away from the computer. I have to remind myself or force myself to eat lunch, those kinds of things, because you really can get caught up in all of this newness and excitement and you want it to go well. But that burnout is real.
Oh my gosh.
Real.
No.
Right?
Yeah. Everything you just said, I'm like, oh, she sees that I do not get up off my desk. She sees, and it's because like you just said it, right, Anna, you're so excited about the growth and you're so excited where you are because you've moved from that first stage into the second stage. But I can totally attest that what you're saying is absolutely 100% Jen, because I burn out like probably every month and a half, where Anna's like, are you breathing right now? Because you haven't responded to me. And I'll be like, I just laid out in bed for a whole day, you know? And I'm like, why do we do this to ourselves?
Right.
It's just,
Yeah.
you know?
So finding ways to kind of, we're in a marathon. We're not in a sprint.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so true.
Right. I think another really important thing about this phase is that when you're trying new things out, that there's going to be some failures that happen. Not everything is going to work 100%, right? So in the growth phase is really where you have to be cognizant of that. Okay, this did not work as well as I was hoping it would, and being able to bounce back for that. And what you're talking about, having the energy to even bounce back from that is going to be part of that healing process and the ability to continue to move forward and continue to grow your business.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes.
See, we could talk about this all day.
I know.
15 minutes is not enough.
Yeah. No.
It's never
not even ish, right?
Minutes, no.
All right. What's that next question we have for Jen?
Okay, question 3. All right, we're in the maturity phase. Your business is feeling super rock solid. Like you've grown. You're like where you want to be. Everything's going great. Do you even need resiliency at this point? Right? Like it's all good.
Question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course we do, because like I said a moment ago, I was kind of getting ahead of myself, but there's different seasons. Things are going to change. Things are going to happen that are unexpected. Maybe not even with our business, maybe something in our personal life that ultimately has an effect on our business, or the amount of time that we're able to dedicate to our business. And so absolutely, yes. And one little like plug I would mention here is something that doesn't take long, a gratitude practice. If you can get in the habit every day of just identifying 3 things that you're grateful for, why you're grateful for them, how you can continue to be grateful for them. When something that kind of comes along and knocks you off track happens, you'll be in the habit of noticing the good things around you, because we all know when something's bad, like that consumes us and we really only focus on that. So getting in the habit before it happens can be super beneficial.
I love that you just said this, because and we all know how obsessed I am with TikTok. There's a guy on TikTok, and he just said it was a mindset shift change, right? And he says, instead of saying, I have to go take my kids, I get to take my kid. I get to take this, I get to eat food today. I get to, instead of saying I have to. And what you just said, and he says, he goes, this is being grateful for what you have. And you just literally took me there. And I was like, because when he said that, it impacted me in such a way, like what you just said, it changing that one word and writing in there, like I am grateful for these things because I get to take my kid to school. I get to pack her lunch. Like,
you want to know what another one is? Instead of saying I can't do that, I'm choosing not to do that. Yes, you can. More than likely you can. I'm choosing not to do that today.
Yeah.
Not I can't,
goosebumps.
or I don't have enough time. I'm not making that a priority today.
Yeah.
I love that.
That also changes. Yeah. Oh, goosebumps, Anna.
I was gonna say, it also really helps you like take ownership of what's happening in your space. You know, like there's no blame shifting happening there. It's, I am choosing. I get to do this.
Yeah.
I am making this decision for myself, which is very empowering, right?
Yes.
Like I think some people are afraid of that a little bit, where it's easier to be like, I can't do it because I have so much going on. My kids are crazy. It's my kids' fault that I can't do it today.
Right.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm blaming my children today. So, But the other thing I want to point out about what you said, Jennifer, is like that even when things are going really well in your business, there are going to be outside influences that may knock you off your feet. It doesn't always have to be business related. And so I mean, I know that internally, but when you said it, it was kind of like an aha, like, yeah, you can be having a really great time with business, but then something in your personal life is like, boom, or
Yeah,
your best friend's personal life, or your parents, or, people you care about, or the world, right? Like, I mean, so many crazy things happening in the world, even that just kind of knock us back a little bit, that have nothing to do with business, but can definitely affect our ability to maintain that growth level of maturity within that cycle. So I love that you point that out there. Yeah.
definitely.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
sending Jen TikToks now, just like, hi Jen, look at this TikTok. Grateful
I
minds.
know, right?
Like, didn't know I needed TikTok so much in my life. My kids will be
Oh,
like, oh God, mom, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw this up here
Yeah.
because John points out that the Army has this resiliency methodology, and I just want to point out really quick, like, guess who was leading the Army resiliency program?
I
Wait,
wonder.
this lady
This
right
one.
there.
So yeah.
We're not talking like small fry resiliency person here that just kind of
Yeah.
went through a few hard knocks. Like, she was in charge of the Army's resiliency program. Like, that's a big
Like
deal.
the whole army, not like
The
this
whole army.
the whole army. So if we want to talk about resiliency, we brought in somebody that knows a thing or two about it. You know what I mean? So
you guys.
Exactly. Yes. So, yes, thank you, John, for pointing that out, because it's important, I think, for people to understand that you really have some experience in this. I mean, you've been dealing with soldiers and then just personal things, and I mean, all these things that in your own life, but especially when we talk about resiliency, we frequently hear it when it comes to being a soldier, right? Like, or the military family and that kind of a thing. So you really have some good experience for like, and being able to apply that into the business world, I think is super important.
Yeah.
So,
And, until I had joined the military community, it's interesting. I'd never really heard the word resilient so much, but I understand why now. I mean, there's so much resiliency that one in this community has to have in order to live this life and be okay, and not even just be okay, but just to move forward, right? And to take that like one step forward in front of the other. And so, I'm really privileged that we get to have you on, Jen, like, because this is your expertise, you know what I mean? And so, thank you for just being here and talking with us about life cycles.
Having me.
Yeah. No. Okay. Fourth question. I'm being grateful. You're my number one grateful. That's what I said I'm grateful for, because we get to have
Can I just pull this up again? I'm just giving you a heart here.
I know. Everybody's like, all right, stop the love fest, you ladies. Get on with it. Okay. I think it's our last. Is it our last question, Anna?
Well, yes, it is. So we've been through the startup phase, the growth phase, the maturity phase. So the very last one is the renewal or decline. Okay. Kind of a scary business life cycle phase, because this is where you have to ask yourself, like, do I cash out here? Am I just going to not do this anymore? Or am I reinvesting into that growth cycle? All that time and energy and money that I've already done once, am I going to try and do it all again to try and reinvigorate this business that I own? So this is like, I feel like this is like, I mean, I get sweaty even talking about it, right? It causes me some anxiety.
Yeah.
So now you've got this resiliency question, and you've got all these decisions, and how does it affect your decision-making process? Or, I mean, what do you do with all of this?
Yeah, it kind of makes me sweaty too, actually.
Yeah.
And the answer I have kind of makes me sweaty too, is like, there's different seasons, which I've mentioned before, in this case, different life cycles of a business, but it's okay to change your mind, whether that means deciding that you're not going to continue forward with your business or you're going to move in a different direction. It's okay to say no to certain things, and then like bringing it full circle, taking care of yourself. So like, no one can really tell you, there's no cut and dry answer here. I think it's just really helpful to be super honest with yourself about where you're at and what you're willing to do moving forward.
Yeah.
Maybe even just like reflecting on however long you had been in business so far and identifying things that maybe you would do differently if you keep
Mhm.
moving forward. So there's a lot of different like ways to take this question, but I think like the short 15-ish minute answer is like there's different seasons and it's okay to change your mind about things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Right.
that. Like that, yes, that there's not like, yes. And this is part of that taking ownership, right? Like it's saying, I'm choosing to not do this, or I'm choosing to do this, and being okay with whatever that decision is,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely. Yeah.
So very interestingly, the article that we kind of used to formulate these 4 different phases, it was a Forbes article that I'm going to actually pop into the comments so other people can read it
Yeah.
if they'd like to. But one of the things that's in this article is when you recognize that you're in the decline phase, you've been in that phase for up to 2 years at that point, and you just didn't
Wow.
know it. You didn't
Right.
see it happening beforehand. So this is really kind of one of those moments where, where you're like, oh, wow. So this has been going on for a while, and maybe you just didn't recognize what the thing was, which is
Mhm.
why I feel like what you just said is even more important, right?
Right.
Like being able to say, this is where I want to go, or this is what I have to do. And anyway, I just thought that
No,
was super like,
I want to
Wow.
bring, okay, so I wanted to just like hit the define resilient button, right? Because I wanted to say, so, right, it says the interweb says able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. So like if we're in that renewal or, it's coming to, right, Jen, it's coming to realization that either you will not be able to renew, so you need to make a difficult decision and know what's best for you and say, you know what, it's time to put this to rest, right? And to be strong enough to, would that be a fair way to
Absolutely. Yeah. And circling back to question 1 and the
yeah.
relationship piece, like how is where you're at affecting the relationships that matter most in your life? I mean, that
Yeah.
might be able to help you make that hard decision as well.
Oh, that's so true. I mean, I would just be curious if anybody is in that stage. I'd love to just even talk to like, I mean, this goes back to like my stepdad and I just had a conversation when I was in Hawaii a couple of weeks ago about him retiring and if he missed it. And he said, nope, he was supposed to go another month and a half. And he said, he just came to this realization. He says, going another month and a half was not worth like a couple more bucks a month on his retirement pay. And he said, I just said, I'm done. And he said he felt good about it when he actually could make the decision, and he's like, yeah, he's like, you couldn't pay me $10 million to go back. Like, he's like, I'm just enjoying life, not going to work, so.
He took ownership, like Anna was saying. He took ownership. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my mentor that I have, she's actually going to be on our show next season. I'm super excited about that. But my mentor I had, one of the things she really instilled in me is that you have to really look at your priority list and stay true to it. So if your family, time with your family, I mean, why are you an entrepreneur or a small business owner in the first place? What is it that you did this direction instead of working for corporate America or that 9-to-5 job or, working for someone else? And really what it came down to was, it's because there's certain things that this life or this business gives you that you couldn't get elsewhere. Yeah. And so she really talked to me a lot about honoring those things in terms of how I made decisions about moving forward. She's like, if you hate doing this, why are you doing it? I'm like, because it brings in the money. She's like, maybe in the growth phase, that's important. But once you hit that maturity phase, you don't have to do this anymore. Anyway, it was just so good.
No, that's so good. It just reminded me, one of the things that I do with my one-on-one clients at the very beginning of our time together is take the time to identify and define their values. And it's very similar to what you're saying. What are you doing daily, weekly, and monthly to honor your values? And if you're
Mhm.
not doing anything and you're not willing to, do you really value it?
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Like
ask
There's
if
that,
yourself
there's
family,
the
that
nugget,
question, people.
yeah, like if
right?
family's on your values list,
Yeah,
but you're working from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you
right.
never are home to put your kids to bed,
Yeah,
is family one of your values?
right.
I don't know.
Right.
And yeah, and this is that take again, we're going back, cycling
Mhm.
back to that taking responsibility for the
Mhm.
decisions you make. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times you say, but I'm doing this for my family. And so then it's evaluating, what does the family really need? I mean,
Right.
because really family time is a big question for entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
small business owners, because we
Yeah.
work a lot. We're
Yeah.
working at 10 p.m. We're working at 3 a.m. We're the first to get up. We're the last to go to bed.
Yeah.
And, because there's nobody else doing
Right.
our business for us in that
Right.
sense.
And
So
it's
yeah, good
probably
questions.
important when you say that though too, right? And is communicate with your family so they still know they are a number one, right? Like, so hey,
Yeah.
I'm in this part of my stage, but I want you to be part of it. I'm growing. You know what I mean? If there's no communication, or like you just said, Jen, right? If you're not putting any effort toward this, then good stuff. Good stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah. So
So
all right.
we're at the end of our show, but
Yeah.
before we close out, I want to throw this up here because
Yeah.
what a great testament to Jen's subject matter expertise, that her program has stuck with me and helped me and my family so much. So this is circling back to that whole Army resiliency thing. Like, how awesome. Yay.
Yeah, I'm giving you a coffee nod. That's mine. You know what I mean?
So here's my library nod.
Yeah. But
well done.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this up here, and Jen is going to tell everybody where you can find her to connect.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, you can find me on any of the social media platforms that are listed here. My website, it's horrible timing, but I'm in the middle of relaunching.
It's a good,
so
relaunch.
It's gonna be awesome. So in about a week, you've got to go to jenniferballou.com and check it out. But in the meantime, you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram.
Yeah. You guys.
Yeah, and I just want to point this out. If you go onto Jennifer's Instagram, she's got a highlight section that is about gratitude. So you know how she's talking about those 3 things every day for gratitude? You can go to hers and just choose from some of hers if you're having a struggle one day. Just be like, oh, look, she's grateful for this. So am I.
Right. There you go.
I know. You know what? I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to practice this week. I can't do 3 because I know I'll be like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm going to do 1 a day. I'm going to do it on Instagram. I'm going to tag Jen just because I want her to know she is like whatchamacallit. So I'm going to start it after this. But you guys, if you are on Instagram, whenever you watch this, just go on Instagram, say what you're grateful for, and go tag Jennifer. So that way she knows she's made an impact.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So please, if you watch this 3 years from now, still tag her. It doesn't matter.
I know. I'm copycatting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to copycat. I'm totally doing the same thing. I love that idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Fabulous. Okay.
Right?
So now you know all the places. Get ready for her launch. And then our next thing is we have our tip jar from Caitlin, who we love at Eldridge. Keep all your receipts. You need them in case of an audit. I know it's the ugly part of business, guys, but on the back end, because if anything's going to make you more resilient is if the IRS comes after you, and we don't want that. They're not fun people to hang with. You know what I mean? You never want to hear from them. So thanks, Caitlin, for that
no
tip.
offense to any IRS people watching.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Anna, what's this?
Well, on the Anna and Selena side, we have a You So Fly affirmation sheet that we want you to download off our website. So we just had so much fun creating this, and it's just a few affirmations from us and a previous guest where we're just telling you to have a better day. And it's just little ideas to boost you up. But here's the best part. We included a little QR code that goes to a Spotify playlist. So you're having like a rough time, hop on, QR code that, jam out to some cool tunes from Anna and Selena. Like, we don't sing them, but we just put the playlist together. So.
Right. I don't know. They would probably, oh, you sing them? I don't know if I'll download that, but it was the original artist. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, head on over to Anna and Selena and pick up your Useful Fly
Yeah.
playlist and affirmation cards.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. I mean, why not, right? Okay. So, Anna, we are at the end.
Yes. I know. Okay, so next week we have Courtney Boyer Coaching, and we're actually going to be talking a lot about sabotaging yourself. So it really kind of goes along with what we've been talking about today. We're going to talk about sabotaging yourself, having that fear of failure, having that fear of like big things happening, and how you can kind of get over that hump. And then, as always, you can find us on the 15-ish Minute Coffee Chat on the podcast, all the podcasts on YouTube, Facebook, anyway, all the places. You know where to find us.
Yeah,
you know, send us a message and we'll respond to you, right?
Yeah, right. Totally. All right. So,
Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
No.
It was so fun. I had a really fun time.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and we'll just do one more confetti, right, Jen, for Anna's birthday.
Yeah. Let's finish it off strong.
Yes, confettis for Anna. All right, you guys.
I love it. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in today. We'll catch you next week.
All right.